Alright, so seeing as this video is a behind the scenes video today, let me just show you what I've been up to. All the books. All of the books. Hello everybody, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel, and don't mind me just sitting in amongst the mess of books in my living room. I have been doing a lot of filming today, including this little video here, the Booktube Backstage Tag. That was a bit of a mouthful to say, I'm not gonna lie, but I was tagged by Max at Max Reads to do the Booktube Backstage Tag. I will link his channel down below. Go and check out his channel, go and watch his videos, they're really good. He does some really cool super book reviews. Go and give him some love, he really deserves it. I love a good tag video, and this one sounded really cool. It's very different to the tag videos I've done before, but it is all about the behind the scenes stuff that goes on when I'm filming. So without further ado, we're gonna jump straight into the questions. So the first question is, what camera do you use? Now, I don't use a camera as such. I don't use a DSLR or anything fancy like that. I literally use a phone. I have filmed all of my videos on a phone. I use a Huawei P20 Pro, and I've used that phone for all of my videos since I started Booktube, because it is a really good phone and it has a really good camera. It has a great selfie camera, which is what I use to film because I like to be able to see if I'm in frame and in focus and things like that. I do have a new phone now. I have the Samsung S20 FE, which means the fan edition, which came out quite recently, and I've only had it for a couple of months, and I don't really use this one to film my videos, but I do use it for vlogging and things like that. Yeah, the Huawei P20 Pro is a good phone to use, and literally, if you want to start a booktube channel, you do not need a really fancy camera. You can use anything. You can use your phone, you can use a webcam, it literally does not matter. Most of them are good quality these days anyway, but you don't need to be worrying about having the latest fancy gadget, piece of equipment, because you don't need it. So question number 2 is, speaking about filming and being your own director, do you have a favourite film director? I really like Wes Anderson. I really like the films that he has put out. My favourite film by him is The Grand Budapest Hotel. That is one of the most creative and visually stunning films that I have ever seen, and I really wanted to do it for a project at university, but I just never did it in the end, and I wish I had, because there was just so much to unpack with that film, the way it's shot and the way every scene is composed and all of the colours, and it's just absolutely beautiful. But I think he does a really good job of creating some very interesting visuals in his films and some very interesting stories. Question 3 is, what microphone do you use and what program do you use to edit your videos? So again, I don't have a really fancy microphone. I use this little thing here, which you might see people on TV use. You can just like clip it to your shirt. You can probably hear that the sound is a little bit different now, but I have it clipped onto my tripod because, you know, it's a decent enough distance away for it to pick up my sound and get rid of any echoes and stuff like that. I'll just show you quickly my setup. Let me just I'll just get my other camera up and I'll show you my setup from this angle. So this is the setup that I have. So I've got my P20 here, and then I've got my microphone here, which is plugged in via an extension because for some reason it doesn't have like a headphone jack. That is literally my setup. That is literally what I use to how I film my videos. I can't remember what make this is, so that's good. But I got it off Amazon for £5 or £6 years ago, and you don't need a fancy microphone. This one does the job. It picks up my voice really clearly, but sometimes I will just use the microphone in my phone. That does a decent enough job these days. And if you make sure that you're in an enclosed space where it's not as echoey, where your voice isn't going to bounce off the walls as much, you're pretty much good to go. And then the program that I use to edit my videos, I use Premiere Pro. I've always used Premiere Pro. I used to use Final Cut in university, and I was very used to using that, but it is very expensive and I don't have any Apple products in my house. But Premiere Pro is, the one that I use all of the time. I understand it the most. I think it's pretty easy to use. I know some people are going to disagree with me on that, but I've also used Windows Movie Maker in the past as well, because I don't really do a lot of editing with my videos. But yeah, Premiere Pro, it does the job. Question 4 is, do you remember the first record you bought or received as a gift? Oh gosh, I used to get loads of CDs when I was a kid. At Christmas, I always used to ask for CDs. I think the very first one that I was gifted would have been Busted's second album. I think it's their second album, called A Present for Everyone. I can't even remember how old I was, but I don't think I was even 10 at that point, but I think that was the first CD I had ever been bought for me, and I didn't buy my own CDs until I was a teenager. I have very fond memories of that album, actually. Question 5, how do you prepare your videos? Talking points, a detailed script, or just talking? I don't script my videos at all. I don't like sticking to a script because I just feel very kind of restricted by it, and also when I'm filming I will think of other points that I want to say, so I just say it while I'm sat here talking, so I will literally just run my mouth, which makes editing very difficult sometimes because I end up cutting out a lot of stupid that I have said that doesn't make sense, or I stumble over my words and things. Sometimes, if I am doing reviews and stuff, I will have bullet points or little lists of things that I do want to say, things I want to remember, but I don't really do a lot of preparation. The only real preparation that I do is kind of like planning what videos I'm going to do and when I'm going to do them, and I use an app called Notion. It's a website actually, but they have an app, and I use that to kind of plan out all of my schedule for YouTube. I don't know if you can see that, but that is my... Can we get it in? That is my calendar for September, and I just click on it and it will just like come up with what I want to upload on that day, and it just helps me keep track. And I'll probably just make little bullet points of like books I want to mention or things like that, but I don't really have a script or stuff. I just say what comes into my head and hope it makes sense. Question 6. TV shows have become the thing of our time. Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, Netflix, HBO and Amazon. What is/are your favourite TV shows ever? Name a maximum of 3. So Doctor Who is my number 1 favourite TV show in the world. I talk about it a lot on my channel because it is something that has been a huge part of my life ever since I was a kid. I first watched it when I was like 9, nearly 10, when it first was rebooted back in 2005, and I've just watched it religiously ever since. I always say that it was my first true love because I was just absolutely obsessed with that show. I still am, So Doctor Who is my number 1. And then, God, I watch so many shows and it's very hard to pick three. But I would say Hannibal is number two because that show was very creepy and f***ed up, but I loved it. And it was one of the most stunning TV shows that I had ever watched. Visually, it was just so compelling. Every shot was a work of art. I had never watched anything that had been filmed as beautifully as Hannibal, and I thought the story was compelling and the acting was just sensational. And I was really sad when they cancelled it because that was just, yeah, it was just an incredible show. And then number three, oh God, number three would probably be Merlin, which is a show that is very close to my heart. And it was the only show that me and my sister used to watch together, my younger sister. We both used to love that show. And I think it was the only time when we didn't argue or fall out or anything like that. You know, we would sit down on a Saturday night for 45 minutes. There would be absolute peace between us because we would both be watching Merlin. And that's the only TV show that I've properly cried at when it ended, because it ended in a very emotional way. And I have a huge soft spot for it. And yeah, I love that show. I need to watch it again. But there are so many shows that I could put in that list, but you know, a maximum of three. So there we go. Question 7 is, what kind of booktube videos do you prefer to watch and why? Reviews, wrap-ups, book hauls, tag videos, etc. I mean, I love watching book hauls because I love seeing all of the new books that people are getting, and I love seeing how excited they are to have these books and to want to read them, and I just keep adding more books to my own TBR list. It's a great way for me to discover books that I might not have heard of before. I also really like watching TBR videos because I love seeing what people are planning to read. I really like watching vlogs. I know a lot of people don't enjoy watching vlogs, but I really like watching vlogs because I feel like it's a great way for you to get to know the booktuber. And you get to see, like, not all of them will give you little bits of their life and stuff. Some people are just focused on the reading. But I like it when booktubers, you know, get to show you little bits of what they're doing that's not reading. I like to do that in my vlogs, you know. I like to show people other things that I like to do and stuff because I think it personalises the vlogs, and it just, you know, it gives people a little insight into the other things that I like doing. But yeah, I really like watching vlogs. So question 8, watching TV was probably a part of all of our childhoods. These years it has become less popular. What kind of media user are you? I definitely don't watch as much TV now as I used to. Work is a big factor of that. You know, I work a lot, so I don't have time to sit in front of the TV all day and watch it. And also it's just TV these days. There's just not anything good on. And when something good is on, I'm usually at work. So I usually just watch a lot of like Netflix. Me and my boyfriend will watch Netflix together. On my nights off, you know, we'll get Netflix on and we'll start a new series or rewatch a series that we both love. At the minute, we're using Disney Plus a lot. So we've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We've been watching that again because that's one of our favourite shows and we love watching that together. So we've been doing that. So yeah, lots of streaming stuff that I use. And then obviously I use YouTube a lot. I love waking up in the morning and picking up my phone and watching YouTube. It's a really bad habit, but I end up watching videos about stuff that I didn't know anything about, and then I've got all this new knowledge. But yeah, and I do use social media, but I haven't been using it as much recently because I just want to try and stay away from it as much as possible because it is just very draining. So yeah. And the last question is to tag other people. So I know a lot of people that I follow on Twitter that I am subscribed to here have already done this tag, have already been tagged in this tag. So If you want to do it, if you're watching this and you haven't done this tag yet, feel free to do it. I tag you now, go and do it. And let me know once you've done it so I can go and watch it, because I always enjoy watching tag videos. But you know, if there are a few people that I see on YouTube that haven't done this tag, then I might tag you. We'll see, so go and check that down below in the description box. I'll leave all the questions down below as well if you want to get involved, as well as the original creators video if I can find it. And yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It has been a pleasure. Please let me know in the comments down below any of your answers to these questions and the kind of setup that you have when you film, or the kind of videos that you like to watch. And please leave a cheeky thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos from me in the future, and I will see you all in my next video very soon. Bye guys.